This is a very unfiltered and unscripted video, but can everyone just decenter Taylor Swift for a minute? Like all the crazy fans, the pure haters, the critics, the general public, everyone in general just try to not give a fuck about her? My wokeness journey has come to the point of understanding that the pop stars, especially the biggest ones in the world right now, are the symptoms of culture, not the cause. The biggest problems you have with her are, in fact, the problems with the current political state of the world right now. But she's the front face of pop culture. She's the most visible, the easiest target for us to criticize and attack, which I sympathize with since it can feel helpless in this climate and we want to do the little things as possible. I don't want people to stop criticizing her, as I believe no one is above criticism, especially a white female billionaire. And I also don't want to be those types of obsessive Swifties and just double down people's opinions and just say, oh, it's not that deep. It doesn't deserve this level of scrutiny or criticisms. Male artists do this all the time. Because obviously Taylor's arts, or any art piece, does not exist in a vacuum, and will always should be viewed with the current state of the culture and political climate that it was produced in. Thus, I want everyone to just try to look at the problems further beyond her and higher than just her alone rather than trying to turn it into a witch hunt. Like, yes, Taylor's private plane usage is a problem, but she's not even the celebrity with the most usage or omitting the highest carbon emission, unless you still fall for a false list made by that magazine a few years ago. Yes, we should criticize Taylor, but also let have the same energy as the Carters or the Kardashians. But let's just say, she's at the top of the list, and we really care about the environment. The carbon emission of a celebrity will never compete with the huge amount of waste that top industrial and AI corporations, or how the war crimes committed by the genocidal regime of America and Israel have managed to do irreversible damage to the environment. Shouldn't we also pressure them the same ways we did for Taylor? At least in the sense of 100,000 liked tweets. Like, yes, Taylor's silence on the current rise of harmful anti-trans people movement or the genocide in Palestine is actually quite loud, given her documentary revolving around the idea of her growing to be more political and vocally supportive of minority. And then her being close with MAGA and conservative people is really disappointing. And yes, she's an example of a privileged liberal white woman. I believe those facts alone are super valid reasons for her to be criticized and for us to pressure her to speak up. But I am also not that naive to believe that she should be my focal point to invest in to address the core problem, or believe that if she finally speaks up about those issues, they will disappear and the world will be healing again. I've learned my lessons back in the US elections. Kamala Harris literally had the entire pop culture backing her up, including Taylor, Beyoncé, or even the entire MCU cast, and yet she still lost. Sure, we can blame on the fact that she's a woman of color, or how Biden put her on a glass cliff. But at the very core, it's still the shitty campaign by the Democrats, and the fact that both parties of America are MAGAs, no matter red and blue, as evidence backed up by the genocide in Palestine. The core problem lies in a much larger corruption of American society and government, aka the hard power. And while Taylor Swift's influence is huge and can shift culture with her immense soft power, at the end of the day, it's just soft power. Taylor Swift, with her Ms. Americana, is a perfect poster child. The problem with America or Western culture, as a whole, from my point of view as a Vietnamese born in Vietnam, is the spectacularization of celebrities in politics. Like, why does everyone look up to celebrities for political answers or moral boost? It feels so dystopian for me. Like in Vietnam generally, those people were the last thing we looked up to whenever there were political problems. Like, yes, Taylor released a ton of variants to milk off her fans and to top the charts. But isn't that a common tactic of this greedy industry? I have seen a lot, like a lot of artists, or at least their teams employing many tactics to achieve this. They popped out new variants every business minute. But I guess it's fair to criticize Taylor since her frequency of doing this is at the top of the list. And also, she's at the top of the game right now, and literally monopolizes the chart, which makes it seem like pure cash grabs. Zooming out, it is an exploitation of the fans' parasocial relationship with the artists. I said that because I am a K-pop fan and know damn well what it looks like. K-pop companies and Western labels are just greedy in different fonts. In fact, the exploitation of parasocial relationships extends beyond just the entertainment industry. Take a look at sports, for example. There are a lot of male fans with cult-like buying tendencies. What I mean is, deconstructing this entire fucked up system requires more overall approach than just focusing on Taylor Swift, though I would say she's a poster child for this. That being said, though, I don't think we should have to be big brainers all the time to extend the issue beyond her. There are definitely problems that Taylor should take into her own account. For example, this new album is a new low for her, musically and lyrically. There isn't much evolution in terms of storytelling and productions anymore, since her stronger works of Folklore and Evermore. There are definitely catchy songs, though, don't get me wrong. For example, The Fate of Ophelia is a catchy tune and a solid first track. But the overall world-building, lyricism, and vocal delivery have been stagnant since then. People blame Jack for this, or now Max Martin, or how Travis was not as great a muse as Joe, or how Joe may actually write some parts of Folklore and Evermore. Please don't bring men into this. These takes are both the combination of misogyny by letting men take all the credits for her legacy and a white feminism scapegoat for her to be infantilized and avoiding criticisms all over again by blaming it on men. Taylor needs an evolution to sharpen her pen more. I don't think her writing is too juvenile, as some people generalize, but I feel like as she's now at the top of the game, the pressure to address the criticism was not as big for her back in the days anymore, as she's still making billions of money and topping the charts. Don't get me wrong, Taylor has received a lot of unfair and misogynistic criticism in the past, and she should filter them out. But now, it seems like all criticisms benefit her money, more than her artistry.
If it's the first week of my album release and you are saying either my name or my album title, you're helping.
Like she said, she's immortal now. She couldn't be put off even if she tried. And maybe that's the problem. And also the AI problem. You literally against AI when you're the victim of Trump during the election, but now you are using it to promote the albums. It really adds up to the allegations of her only caring about issues when it benefits her. Of course, we are upset. AI art are an abomination that devalues art, steal artists' jobs, and destroy the environment. A lot of fans defend by saying that maybe it's not her but her team, blah blah. But the problem is she builds her entire brand around having autonomy and gaining creative control of her work. Even as a white woman, the infantilization cannot support her forever, as she's 35 now. And damn, after I finish this script, there's even more controversies around this album, such as the misrepresentation of Ophelia, the allegation of racist undertone in Opalite, the homophobic actually romantic, the eugenics and trad wife dog whistles of Wishlist, and so on, or even the Nazi symbol-alike necklace. Some I am still wrapping my head around and try to listen to the marginalized community, but some I do feel like it's a bit of a reach to shit on Taylor carelessly. I guess since Taylor has built her entire brand by being the mastermind and dropping smart Easter eggs, the reaching is inevitable by both the fans, the haters, and everyone. For me, I will just try to wait for some information to come out before giving any opinion. So that's it. I rant and yap a lot. It's my first video not talking about K-pop, so the view is not going to be high, but I just want to let out the thoughts that has been stuck in my head for a long time. In conclusion, I want we, as the culture and the public, view the problems not just at Taylor, but also through Taylor.